Hey everybody, Mr. Regan here. Today's lesson, we're obviously going to be using this video to kind of break down everything, give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. And if you're watching this video, it means you have currently clicked on the watch this video before anything else link. Awesome. We're already on the right path, doing the right stuff. But before we get into today's activity, I want to point out some big stuff. I want to hopefully get us on the right track before we begin so that this goes really smoothly and gets done really quick for us, okay? So big picture thing, number one, this part that we're completing today is going to be super easy. So if you're somebody who is behind on lessons or needs to make up some assignments, today would be a great day to do that, okay? I know the video might look long, but the work should hopefully be getting done as you're watching the video. So by the time you're done, You can move on to other things. Now, before I go into the actual breakdown of this document, I want to kind of take a step back and I want to look at why we're doing this. Today, you're going to be creating an intro to a write-up, so kind of like a 5-paragraph essay sort of thing to both sides of our GMO debate. And you're looking at, again, the strengths and weaknesses of both sides of the argument. Now, if you're somebody who has not completed lesson 9 and lesson 11, now's the time to stop this video and go check PowerSchool. If you're unsure or haven't checked PowerSchool in a while, go do that now, because if those assignments are missing or incomplete, it's going to be really hard to complete not only today's lesson, but every lesson moving forward. Those 2 lessons were the building blocks for today and the rest of the week. So pause the video if you're good. Otherwise, if you know those 2 assignments are done and ready to go, then let's go ahead and take a look at today's. So today, we're going to be focusing on creating an introduction for our write-up. This is an introduction. We're no longer like answering questions or putting short bulleted ideas. We are creating a full body paragraph for our introduction to this write-up, okay? So to do that, obviously you're going to start by creating a new Google Doc in your Drive, and you're going to title it GMO Debate Write-Up, and obviously throw your name on there, okay? Now, as you're doing this, keep in mind this document that you're creating right now is something you're going to use for the rest of the week or for most of the upcoming week. So be able to find it really quick, okay? Once you've created your name, you're going to create an introduction to your final GMO write-up that includes answers to the 3 questions here. Okay, the background, research, and claim questions you have here. Now, yes, these are questions that you can probably answer really easily, but you need to put it into an introduction paragraph, okay? And I need you to remember, when you're creating this paragraph, it's your introduction to a 5-body paragraph, 5 bodies of paragraphs, and you need to make sure you include things like your grammar, good spelling, and good punctuation. So let's go ahead and take a look at the breakdown real quick of our 3 big questions we'll have in our introduction. So the first one is, what debate have you been researching? This is where you should have a sentence or 2 introducing what you've been researching, what we've been looking into, and obviously that idea about GMOs, okay? The second question is, what investigating question have you been researching? So we obviously have the big GMO debate we've been looking at, and then that investigating question that we've been looking at in our lesson 11, okay? So if you need to go back to lesson 11 or pull 11 and 9 up as you're doing this thing, great, go for it, do it, okay? Pull up whatever resources you need. It should be there right at the very beginning of lesson 11, highlighted in yellow, I believe, okay? And this part right here, what claim do you feel is best supported by the evidence you found, okay? This is where you're going to say, okay, based on both sides of debate, this is the side that I feel has the best evidence supported by the best claim supported by the best evidence, okay? So if you're somebody like me who likes to start with like a skeleton, so to speak, and then build around it, okay, I would start obviously going into my Google Drive or my Google Docs, whatever works best for you, adding a new Google Doc and starting here, okay? Obviously having that GMO debate write-up, so to speak, as the title of your doc. I'm going to put in Reg, okay? And I'm going to start by taking these, putting it in here, and I'm going to be creating my wonderful introduction. Now, again, this is a skeleton. This is not your introduction. You're not just answering these questions and moving forward. So I might start here with a big idea. My GMO debate about using genetically modified organisms. Okay. What was our investigating question? Well, should humans use genetically modified organisms in the plants and animals that make up their food? That's a question. And then what do you feel is the claim that's best supported by evidence? This is where I would look at 11. I look at the very bottom and say, okay, that bottom part that asks which one do I think was best? Well, this is where I put it in. The claim that is best supported by evidence is ... Okay. Now, a few things I want to point out before I kind of end this video, because we're halfway done. Okay. Number one is, notice I've probably misspelt a bunch of things. I'm sure there's a lot of things that have bad punctuation in here. Notice this is a skeleton. I'm just getting big ideas down, thoughts down, the questions, so I have a place to move on. Okay. I would now maybe copy paste. Okay. These in order of kind of the answers. Boom, 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 boom. I would probably go to tools, spelling and grammar real quick, organisms, yep, boom, okay. And then obviously I would start filling in things. So first off, I'd look at the last part that says the claim that is best supported by the evidence is, well, maybe you think it's humans should use GMOs or use, genetically modified organisms in the plants and animals they have for food. Okay. Now I'm going to start to merge kind of these sections together, and I'm not just going to, again, clump them. I'm going to hopefully put in some sort of transitionary sentences here or some sort of introduction that can either hook people in or that can make sense to kind of introduce this big idea. GMOs are an ongoing debate about using genetically modified organisms in our day-to-day lives. Now notice I took that very basic sentence, made it kind of this more introduction, matter of fact, like, hey, GMOs is this raging debate, okay, that's going on in our lives. I even might throw in another sentence about how this debate is getting heated, or I might quote something about an interview or whatever it may be to kind of get that introduction. For this next part, the investigating question that has been researched over the last couple days is, quotations, based on the research compiled, claim best supported by evidence is Okay, now notice a few things. Number one, I have not completed this. I still need to kind of create some sort of transition from this first sentence into my paragraph, but I've already created 3 or 4 sentences here. I already have a good hook. I've already answered all 3 questions, which means I could probably delete these. And then I could probably finish up whatever I need, and my introduction's done. Okay. So again, I know this is incomplete, but I feel like you guys have the skill and the practice up to this point to kind of move forward with it all. So that's it. Your introduction's done. You're finished. The last part that we need to worry about now is, if this was complete, submitting it. Yes, you are submitting it today, but understand I'm not going to be grading it or anything until we're done with everything. So I'm going to go back to the Google form here. Obviously, click on it. and I'm going to get into this. Now, you guys have seen this a million times, but one thing I would like us to do kind of differently, today I'm going to pretend to be somebody in period one, and that would be Mr. Bakey. You're the first person I picked. We kind of look the same. No, we don't, not at all. Okay. But anyways, is this idea of copying and pasting a shareable link. A lot of us have gotten this down. You hit share, you get shareable link. Boom, you already have it copied, but I want us to take it one step further. If you go to the drop down arrow here, a lot of us are doing the can view link, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I would like to start leaving you guys some live comments to the work you're doing. I know you can go to PowerSchool and see the grade and kind of see what that grade means based on that rubric, but if you go to can edit and copy that link, now when you submit it, copy paste, I'm going to be able to leave you comments in the document so that you can either A, make real-time adjustments or see real feedback that can obviously help you with whatever you're doing. Okay. The last thing I want you to look at is this little check-in is all about the argument tool. Do you feel like you can use the argument tool to help you debate both sides or bring up both sides in your argument and in your write-up? If you feel confident about both sides, if you feel confident about one but not the other, or if you feel unsure, give me an honest feedback so that, number one, you can identify where maybe you can make fixes and changes and maybe go back and re-research, or number two, so that when I'm looking at your write-up, I can hopefully give you some good feedback, okay? From there, you'll obviously hit submit. If you're somebody who wants a copy of what you're submitting to me, click that button, okay? And you'll be able to get a copy sent to your email, okay? At that point, hopefully you're done, okay? If you are done, move on to other things. Take a break, do what you got to do. But let me know if you need any help. I'll obviously be on my Zoom conferences at 9:30 and 12:30. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.